Hey guys, and today I'm going to be showing you guys all of my PLL algorithms and how I finger trick them. Now I'm not going to go through all of the advanced finger tricks that I use, but if you want to know, I have a video on that. So if you want to check it out, I have a link over here and also in the description for advanced finger tricks. So without further delay, let's just jump right into it. So for this A permutation, which is the AA permutation, I like to recognize by this kind of putting the block on the bottom left. Now I like to recognize these two pieces. So if these two colors are matching, so if they have headlights, then I do AB permutation. This is AA permutation. So that means there's no headlights, there's headlights on the back. So if it's like that, I do this algorithm. So if you get a block over here and headlights over here, that means you have an AB permutation, which means you have to do this algorithm. For F permutation, I like to recognize by this block that is already made. So this block is already made, and then these two corners, these two stickers are not headlights. That means it's an F permutation. If they were headlights, then it would be one of the U permutations, but there's no headlights, so that means it's an F permutation. So hold it over here. Then you do this algorithm. I know it seems pretty long, but it's pretty much just a 4-move cancellation or reduction to a JP permutation, and then it's pretty easy. So this is our algorithm. For G permutation, it's quite difficult to recognize, but when you get advanced, or how you should recognize is with these two headlights. So in a G permutation, there has to be two headlights. So these two are headlights, and there's going to be some bar type of thing. So this bar is on the front, it can be on the side over here, or these two are on the back. So if it's on the front, that means it's a GA permutation, and you do this algorithm. If you get headlights over here and the bars on the top right, so over here, then you do this algorithm, which is a GB permutation. If you get headlights over here and the bar on the back, then you do this algorithm. So you face this over here with the headlights on the right, and then you do this. If the headlights over here and the bars on the bottom right, that means it's a GD permutation, and for it, this is the algorithm I use. Now for J permutations, I like to recognize with these bars that are over here, and I recognize if I hold one bar on the front and one bar on the right or left, is this bar on the back, that is it on the right or is it on the left? So if it is on the left, I hold this bar on the back, so it's like an upside down J, and then you do this algorithm. If this bar is on the right, then you hold it just like this, like a J, and then you do this algorithm. For our permutations, these two corners are swapped and these two pieces are also swapped. For the recognition, I like to recognize if there's these two corners are swapping or on the right, if these two edges are swapping, or these two. If it's on the back, these two edges are swapping, that means this is our A permutation, and I do this algorithm. For our B permutation, which is these two corners are swapping and these two edges are swapping, for that I hold it over here, so these two edges are on the bottom right, and then you do this algorithm. For T permutation is quite simple to recognize. It's basically these two edges swapping in these two corners, so it looks like a T, and this is the algorithm. For E permutation, which is kind of hard to recognize, but you know that there is no color matching, which is the only permutation, which is E permutation, which doesn't have any color matching on this side. So how to recognize it? Well, if it's not over here, then recognize this is edge piece, and these two colors on the opposite sides, like these, they have the same color. So this one is red, but these two do not have it. This is orange and orange. So this is the right one, so you hold it like that, and then you do this algorithm. And this algorithm may seem long, but it's quite easy to memorize if you divide it into parts. For N permutation is very easy to recognize. So if it's this bar and this bar opposite, how I recognize this is if one corner is over here, that needs to swap, and the other's on the top. So these two need to swap, and it's bottom left to top right. Then I do this algorithm. For NB permutation, which is top left to bottom right, the corner swapping, I like to, my algorithm is not the best, but there are some alternatives in the description if you want to look at it. My algorithm is not the best, but I have some other ones in the description, so if you want to check that out. For V permutation, I see that there's a block over here, and this corner is not solved. If these two are headlights, or any of these two are headlights, I recognize this is an A permutation, but if there's not, then it's a V permutation. And for V permutation, my algorithm is not that good, so I have some alternatives in the description as well. So for V permutation, I just hold it like this with a block on the bottom left, and then I do this algorithm. For Y permutation, I recognize that there's just one corner that is just alone and there's no color matching, so I hold it on the bottom right, and there's just this whole part over here, so I just do it, this algorithm. For edge permutation is the easiest recognition, which is this middle color is always going to be opposite to the headlights. and then you do this algorithm. For U permutations, the easiest recognition is recognize where the opposite color piece is. So this one is opposite to orange, is opposite to red, so it's on the right side, and that means it's UA permutation. So you do this algorithm. And the opposite, if it's on the right side, then it's a UB permutation. So it goes like this. And the last permutation, which is Z permutation, and for this, or Z permutation, and for this I recognize that these two, I just need to swap, and these two, so I hold the two need to swap over here, and these two also need to swap, so I can hold it over here, but I just hold it like this, and then you do this algorithm. That's pretty much all the PLLs. Now I have put some alternatives in the description for the algorithms that I thought that I didn't have great ones. And I hope you guys like this video. If you did, give it a like button, subscribe to my channel, and consider checking out these two videos and click over here to subscribe. I'll see you guys all next time.